Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Marvel Legends review for you today. This is Marvel's Colossus from the X-Men wave, the Build-A-Figure for Marvel's Warlock. Yeah, it's took me a while to track this guy down. This wave, I guess, has been very popular. It's hard to find him at all in stores, but if we take a look at the back, you can see down here, it's a Build-A-Figure for Warlock, and there's Colossus, Shatterstar, Dazzler, Polaris, Cyclops, Sunfire, and then Old Man Logan. I'm still trying to find a Cyclops. I think he's really popular because he's like nowhere and everyone's looking for him. Colossus was fairly hard to find as well. A lot of times I'll walk in and I'll see Sunfire and Polaris and Shatterstar, and that's how I know the wave has been there, but all the good figures have already been picked over, unfortunately. So just real quick, the bio here. Colossus transforms his body into armored steel to become a nearly indestructible force in combat. So it's a very cool looking figure, I have to say. I've always been a big fan of Colossus. So I decided to grab this because this costume I assume is from Astonishing X-Men. I might be wrong on that, or just something similar to that. But it's kind of similar to his original appearance. At least it's kind of the same color scheme. And that's the costume that I like. I know it has those kind of weird frilly shoulder pad things. So I feel like this is a nice contemporary take on his original costume, so I like it a lot. You also get an extra head that has a goatee, which is pretty fantastic. So it's a question I've never really thought about. What if he had... I guess his hair gets kind of steel as well, but, you know, steel facial hair is kind of hilarious. So let's go ahead, we'll get him out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging. We'll take a quick look at the accessories he comes with. Here is the head with the goatee. I'm not going to actually pop it on the figure because I don't have any intention of putting this head on, but it's kind of funny. It obviously must be from an alternate appearance where he had kind of like a cowlick going on up here and a goatee. It's a nice looking head. I'm glad they included it. It gives people the option if they want to go ahead and pop that head on. Putting that off to the side, you also get the Build-A-Figure parts for Warlock. You get this saw blade hand. The blade does not rotate. It is one solid piece, which is kind of a bummer, but I get it. But it's painted very nice, coppery, kind of tarnished look, so I like that a lot. And then you get Warlock's giant head. Great expression. They did a great job with his facial features, and then he's got this kind of giant dreadlock fro going on here. So, massive piece. I always think it's funny. I always only end up getting like 2 or 3 figures from a wave, so I have all these random pieces just kind of sitting around. But they are what they are. Moving into Colossus himself. Fantastic figure. This guy looks amazing. It reminds me of the Hulk. It's a bigger figure like that. And I feel like it's a little bit more sturdy because of that. Like his joints feel a heck of a lot more sturdy to me than the normal elbow and knee joints that are usually like fairly thin. Standard articulation. Head is on a ball joint as well as that kind of swivel in the neck there. You have the standard shoulder joints, and mine are pretty tight. Then you have a bicep swivel. You only have one elbow joint instead of 2, but I feel like you only need one. And it's, again, they're all pretty tight. Standard hand or wrist articulation, can move from side to side as well as bend forward. You have an ab crunch. You have a swivel at the waist, out to the side and front to back for the hip. Thigh swivel. Then you do have 2 joints in the knee. So, and again, they're all very tight. This is always what makes me so nervous about the knee joints. I'm always afraid I'm going to break something because they're so tight. Then you have a swivel right beneath the boot cuff. And then, of course, you have the up and down for the ankle as well as the side to side. So, it's a really impressive looking figure. I'm glad I decided to pick it up. I'm not super great at coming up with amazing poses for figures, unfortunately, but yeah, it's nice to get some X-Men in the Marvel Legends line. I know we had a wave previous, which I believe had, I think, Deadpool, Cable, Phoenix, Kitty Pryde, Wolverine, Rogue. Was that it? There might have been another one I'm forgetting. And that had Build-A-Figure pieces for Juggernaut, which was really cool. But I'm glad to get some more X-Men. I would love a Nightcrawler. He'd probably be tough to do. because he's really skinny, so the pieces might be kind of brittle, but I'm sure they could make it work. But yeah, I was always a fan of the, like, obviously the 90s X-Men roster, you know, Gambit and Beast, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Rogue. Don't really care about Jubilee all that much, but I also liked the Uncanny X-Men with Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, and Colossus here. So I kind of like to mix those two rosters, would be like my ultimate X-Men team. So this was definitely one that I needed to pick up for that, and I'm really glad I did, because it's a really nice figure. I really don't have anything to complain about. Like I said, the only thing is some of the joints are tight, which is not really a complaint. I'd rather them be tight than overly loose. It's just one of those things that you have to be careful when you're, you know, bending joints and things, because I'm always afraid I feel like I'm going to snap it if I use too much force. So just be ginger with them, but they should be good. And yeah, like I said, I have nothing to complain about this guy. He looks fantastic. I guess the only, if I'm thinking about his original design, I think like his thighs down to his knees were also metal. So like there's not a ton of metal exposed on this guy, but I don't think it matters. I think this costume is a nice update, because I mean, I have to admit that that original 70s costume, while it is classic, or maybe it's even 80s at this point, it hasn't changed. I'm just rambling. In any case, I think that costume was a little silly-ish in modern times. I mean, obviously it worked then, but I think this is a nice update to that costume where it still has the same color scheme, but he looks fantastic. And I love the head sculpt. Let's get in real close so we can take a look at that head sculpt. I mean, the eyes are just done perfectly. The hair and everything. It's really well done. Like I said, I really have nothing to complain about on this guy. He looks fantastic, and he's an excellent addition to your X-Men Marvel Legend collection. So if you can find him, if you can track him down, definitely pick him up. Like I said, I'm definitely trying to find that Cyclops, because that's the 90s Cyclops. That's Jim Lee's Cyclops, and I have to have it because it's what he looked like in that 90s animated cartoon, which is my favorite growing up as a kid. So I got to find that. The rest of this wave, I think Shatterstar's kind of cool. Dazzler's not bad. The rest don't really interest me all that much, but this guy's definitely one of the best from the wave, in my opinion. If you can find him, I highly recommend picking him up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Marvel Legends Colossus. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.